Intel Store just came to the game, and there's a ton of new stuff going on here in Marvel Strike Force. First things first, there is a new promo code, green and purple. I had to do it in all capital letters. What I got was 2 million gold and 20,000 Intel Store. So that was one of the biggest things that happened today, is that the Intel Store came to the game, and there's going to be some other changes. So I want to make a distinction between the Intel Store and the shop currency. So I will explain what's going to happen with the shop currencies and what is happening today with the Intel Store. Now, right now in game, there's a couple ways of getting Intel currency. Two of them off the top of my head is going to be the Blitz milestones. So right now, if you go and Blitz, there's no more Blitz credits awarded for an individual Blitz, but there are inside of the milestones, the Blitz currency, which you could do very quickly. And I collected very quickly. So you just have to do a handful of them and you're through that. The other place that they're being awarded currently is going to be inside of Alliance raids. So not only is there inside each individual nodes, but you can see right here, this is the chaotic storm. You can see that it's awarded right there. If you get to 40%, if you get to 70%, you get that many, and so on. And then also inside of the Spotlight, actually Spotlight pays out a little bit more at the top. So you got 3,800, and then the maximum one, there's gonna be 4,000. Now, what's going to be happening over time is all of the existing currencies like Blitz currency, Raid currency, Arena currency, War currency, Crucible currency will no longer be paid out. We're not going to be getting more. What we're going to be getting instead is this Intel currency. And that's what is happening today. And if we go into the Intel Store, there's various items of interest. For me, I'm going to be focusing exclusively on Gear Tier 20 pieces. And it looks like right now there are 2 slots for Gear Tier 20. These 2 right here, right below where the characters end. Now, there is a lot of other stuff in there that is interesting. Now, this is not a lot. We'll do some of the math, and that will be fine. Now, what is happening? Now, let's just call all of these other currencies right here. They're all going to be converted, not today, but eventually on the 22nd into a shop currency. And just to make it simple, let's just call these the shit currencies, right? So we've got all these shit currencies, and on the 22nd, they're all going to be converted into one master shit currency. And what can you do with the shit currency today? You can buy shit stuff. So there's going to be a consolidated shit currency and a consolidated shit shop. And that's fine. It's nothing exciting happening with that. Nothing is really changing. The only advantage I could really see to that is that there's basically the raid credits and elite raid credits. You'll be able to buy these raid credits, which I think is going to be interesting if you're looking for Gear Tier 19 pieces. So maybe it'll alleviate some of the pressure there. But overall, it's just basically they're getting rid of them. They're going to stop awarding them, and they're all going to be converted into one currency, and all of this stuff, which is not very meaningful, will be in one shop. And I'm going to just say it, the shop is going to be largely irrelevant for a lot of people, and the currency is also going to be irrelevant over time. There are going to be some things that are going to be useful for sure, but some of them are going to be, dependent on refreshes. Right here, I guess if you get millions of this large shop currency, maybe you could take the very poor exchange rate and get some training materials. But we really don't know. We don't really know how that works. They gave us some outline for what the conversion rate is going to be on that, but that really does not happen until the 22nd. Now, between now and the 21st, these various currencies that are basically going away are going to be stopped awarded in game modes, just like I just showed in Blitz milestones and in raids. We're now getting Intel instead of that. And so that is going to happen between now and the 21st. No specific dates on that happens. The other currency that they updated, I wouldn't say they updated, but rewards that they updated is going to be in the arena currency. If you look in rewards, now it has these Crimson Duelist orb fragments. And it looks like in the top 10, you get 8 of them. And then here in the 20th position, you get, what is that? Instead of 8,000, so that's 4 orbs. And then right here, you're going to get 3.5 orbs a day. And there is a guaranteed 1 Gear Tier 20 piece in this. And then there's a 30% chance of getting 2. So what does this all mean? Is that if we're talking about Gear Tier 20s, We don't have a lot of information on what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. We're kind of just waiting to see what the final version of all this looks like, which is going to be closer to the later end of the month, which is the 22nd. But for right now, we know what we're getting here in the Blitz milestones. We went over the raids, and Kentucky Fried Kodo kind of did some math. It says, from the inputs I'm seeing at the moment, Blitz plus raid plus command center events, so that's the other way to get them. We're looking at around 250K, 300K intel per week, depending on what raid you're doing. So that would be between 30 to 40 gear tier minis per week, or just about enough to get 1-3 pieces from gear 20 months. So not a lot. And then if you account for like the potential ones that you could get from the arena, from those crimson orbs, that's probably another 15 a week. And so basically each piece has 25 and 25, so total of 50 per piece. And the least expensive characters, well, some take, but most of them take on average 3 pieces, right? Some of them take 5, some of them take 2. But the cost of this is like for 25 plus 25 in the store has been $60. So largely people were taking a single character to gear tier 20 for $60 US. And for 180 US dollars. And some of the larger ones like Apocalypse, which required 5, would cost as much as $300. So this is a trickle. I'm expecting this trickle to accelerate when we start getting awarded this intel currency from the other game modes like War, Crucible, and Arena. And we won't really get to see that until we get further along in the month, closer to the 22nd. So we talked about the Crimson Duelist Orbs. Also, Battle Pass. So I have not been buying the Battle Passes. They just have not been a good value for me. This Battle Pass has a character that I care about, and it does have some gear tier 20s. And so it's $20. To buy these gear tier 20 pieces right here would cost $35. So I'm going to be buying this mostly because of the character, and then as bonus, I'm getting some gear tier 20 pieces. All right, so I think that'll cover it for the Intel and the Intel store. So Intel stores in the game today, currencies, the old legacy currencies that you couldn't buy anything with, will stop being awarded in various game modes between now and the 21st. All of those legacy currencies will be converted into one shop currency, and all of the things you could buy eventually be converted into one shop store. And we're going to be on this new Intel system, which is going to rotate every 90 days. It's going to be called Intel for this 90 days, and then it's going to be called something else later. And what I'm hoping this will do, this will make winning in Crucible, winning in War meaningful. Because when Crucible came to the game, it was exciting. You got Crucible currency, and there's things you want to buy. Well, now you're going to get Intel currency, and hopefully it's a meaningful amount where you're going to want to win in War, you're going to want to win in Crucible to get the Intel currency to buy gear tier 20 pieces is what I'm hoping will be the final outcome. More important than that, Old Man Logan is now in the Elite store. That's a big deal, and so is the Red Stars for Shadow King. So they are definitely in there. I refreshed mine, and I picked up my first diamond on Old Man Logan, and I have not seen Shadow King yet, but I can assure you both of them are in there. Now, there was a data mine coming in for Boilon where it's talking about this negative zone, and so this is going to be a very challenging event, but I want to talk about the Harbinger characters. Commander Strike has received a distress call from a previous unknown negative zone. This unique realm appears to be one enormous city ruled by criminals and other villainous characters. After careful consideration, we have decided to authorize a mission to this dangerous reality, which we will call the negative zone Harbinger. Harbinger, I'm always going to have a hard time saying that word. Be on the lookout for this all-new negative zone coming soon. Minimum requirements, the negative zone. Harbinger will require Harbinger characters. We're going to talk about what that is. All missions will require 5 Harbinger characters. Recommended Harbinger characters at gear tier 20, and it says recommended, not required. This event is very challenging. So currently in game, there is one team, and that is the Vigilante. The next team will be the Thunderbolts, and there's going to be 3 teams that work towards the next legendary Quasar, and getting the bonus red stars, let's say, or maybe even the awakened abilities. So it's going to be a total of 4 teams that are going to have this tag. Currently in game, it's just going to be the Vigilante team. And then when the Thunderbolts are here, which is going to include Ghost and Taskmaster, that team will have this tag as well. And then there's going to be 2 more teams that we don't know what they are. So that is coming soon. I think I went over everything for today on the stuff that is happening to the game. Also, I just wanted to put the Scopely marketing plan. And you know what? Let's do something special. I really hope you liked today's video, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you will be getting for free in your account. Oh my God, please understand this is sarcasm. Oh my, I don't know if people can understand the sarcasm on this. You'll be getting for free in your account a 5 diamond Gear Tier 20 8 red star Hydra sniper. This is not a scam. All right, so you're not gonna get that. I used to do this all the time, and it was always some sort of like scammy thing, you know, that does not exist, and people would like, where is it? Venora actually took her Hydra sniper to Gear Tier 20 and posted about this on Reddit. What are you thinking, Venora? Venora is a streamer. What are you thinking? Why? Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Bye for now.